Just finishing off the behind-the-scenes information regarding Doctor Who serial The Krotons. The Krotons were written with the intent of replacing the Daleks as the Doctor's principal nemesis, as Terry Nation had asked the BBC to stop using them so he could pitch his own Dalek series to US TV networks, which ultimately fell through. Unfortunately, the Krotons didn't have the same impact the Daleks had, and they faded into obscurity, with Nation eventually allowing the Daleks to return to this series midway through the Third Doctor's era. Fraser Hines would have originally departed in this story, or at least the one that filled its slot, and been replaced with a male companion named Nick. He ultimately decided to leave along with Patrick Troughton. The Krotons was repeated on BBC Two in November 1981 to celebrate the 5 phases of Doctor Who and bridge the gap between seasons 18 and 19. At the time, it was the only 4-part Second Doctor serial that fully existed in the BBC archives. All other 4-part stories were either incomplete or missing entirely. Robert Holmes envisioned the Krotons as crystalline men. Costume designer Bobby Bartlett opted instead for a more robotic approach. Jack Lovell Limited was tasked with constructing the Krotons, but in their haste to build the monsters, they did so to the wrong scale. As a result, the Krotons were larger and more unwieldy than intended, and a rubber skirt had to be added to hide the operator's legs, which would otherwise now be exposed. Elec was originally called Averick, while the Dynatrope was originally named the Dynatron. Wendy Padbury found her PVC dress to be very impractical because it was so prone to getting torn. A myth stemming from this serial has been the Krotons were the winning entry in a Blue Peter Designer Monster competition. Not really. One of the winning entries in a Blue Peter Designer Monster competition, the Aquaman, resembled a cardboard box with legs and arms, similar to the Krotons' appearance. And I may as well read out some continuity associated with this serial also. The Krotons appear in Alien Bodies, a novel which greatly fleshes out Kroton history, biology, and origins. They also return to battle the 6th Doctor and Charlie Pollard in Return of the Krotons, which was an audio story. The 11th Doctor sets up the HADS before his encounter with the Ice Warrior Skaldak. That was in an episode TV story, Cold War. And I think that means we can just close it here. Thanks everyone, appreciate it very immensely. 2.5 minutes, that'll do here, I suspect.